Okay, let's dive into something really cool today.
Sounds good.
We're doing a deep dive based on source material you shared with us about this recent event in China, the World Robot Competition Mecha Fighting Series.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got this great article excerpt, gives us a real, well, ringside seat, you could say.
exactly, a ringside seat.
And it's a pretty fascinating look at where things are with humanoid robots and, AI right now.
Absolutely. So our mission, really, is to unpack what went down,
Hmm.
explore the tech, powering these fighting bots, and kind of crucially, figure out what this whole event tells us about the state of robotics and AI today. Like, what can we learn from robots punching each other?
Right. It's definitely more than just a show. So setting the scene a bit, the source material confirms it. World Robot Competition Mecha Fighting Series, held in China.
Okay.
And it involved 4 teams, all competing with these humanoid robots built by a Chinese company, Unitree.
Unitree. I know them more for their dog-like robots, the quadrupeds.
That's right. They're well known for those.
So interesting. They're getting into humanoids now.
Yeah.
And what are we talking size-wise? Are these giant, like, Pacific Rim mechs?
Hey, not quite, no. Not giant fighting robots from anime, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately.
Maybe.
The source describes them as 132 centimeters tall. So what's that? Just over 4 feet.
All right.
And weighing 35 kilograms, about 77 pounds. So yeah, the article calls them pint-sized, which feels about right.
Pint-sized pugilists. Okay, so not massive, but, still pretty substantial for a robot.
Definitely.
Did they just, like, roll them out and yell, "Fight"? Or was there more setup?
No, not straight into it. Before the actual competition rounds, the article mentions these robots went through test demonstrations first.
Oh, okay.
They were put through their paces, showing off different kicks, punches. And this wasn't just for show, it seems.
Right.
It actually helped the organizers fine-tune the rules for the main competition based on what the bots could actually realistically do.
That makes a lot of sense. Test the hardware before you write the rule book. Good thinking. Which brings us right to the tech. How are these robots fighting? Fully autonomous AI? Or was there, like, a person pulling strings?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting and where the source gives us some key insight. A Unitree team member, Chen Xiun, is quoted.
Okay.
And he explained the robots fought in a human-machine collaborative way.
Human-machine collaborative. Okay, what does that actually look like for robot fighting?
It's a hybrid system, and I think it tells us a lot about where we are right now. So the machines, they definitely had moves programmed in advance.
Like preset combos?
Yeah, I think preset punches, kicks, maybe some defensive blocks. But, and this is the crucial part, a person, a human controller, was ultimately deciding which of those moves the robot would do and when.
Ah, I see.
Reacting to the fight as it happened.
So the strategy, the timing, the heat of the moment decisions,
Yeah.
that's all human.
Right.
But the actual, like, complex physical execution of a spinning kick or something, that's the robot's programming taking over.
Exactly. It's not full AI autonomy in the ring making its own fight plan. But it's still a really powerful blend, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It shows the current limits, maybe.
I think it highlights where the tech is today. Building a robot that can do complex dynamic physical stuff and make sophisticated strategic decisions in real time, that's incredibly hard.
Sure.
So this hybrid way lets them show off advanced physical moves. That's the robot's job, guided by human reaction and intelligence, the controller's job. It feels like a practical step.
A practical step towards maybe more complex tasks down the line.
Okay.
So human strategy, robot execution of pre-top moves. But the source mentioned AI was involved somewhere, right?
Absolutely. The source is specific here. AI tech was used to let robots learn. That's a quote from Unitree director Wang Kixon.
Okay, learn. But learn what, if not strategy, during the fight?
Learn how to do the moves themselves, the physical performance.
How do you teach a robot to punch like a pro using AI?
Well, the method they used is pretty cool. Wang Quixon explained they used motion capture data, mocap data from professional fighting athletes.
You mean like putting the sensor suit on a real kickboxer?
Exactly that. Capturing all the detailed, nuanced movements of human pros.
Wow.
And then this mocap data was used to train the robots. But get this, in a virtual world.
So simulated training based on real human movement.
Precisely. The robots learn to replicate those complex physical actions in simulation using the data from the human fighters as the model.
Okay, that's actually a really significant use of AI in simulation, teaching complex physical skills by essentially having robots watch and mimic human experts in a virtual gym.
Yeah.
That sidesteps having to program every tiny joint movement from scratch, I imagine.
It does. It allows the robots to perform actions that, look and function like real fighting techniques, albeit still under human direction in the actual ring.
Right. Okay, so we've got the tech, the hybrid control, the AI-trained moves. How do they actually score these bouts? How do you win?
It was a point system, pretty standard format, actually. 3 rounds, 2 minutes each per match.
Okay, 3 2-minute rounds. And the points. Where are the scoring zones on a robot?
Good question. A punch to the head scored 1 point.
1 point.
But a kick to the head was worth 3 points.
Ah, so kicks are more valuable? Harder to land, maybe? Or just more decisive?
Could be either, yeah. Higher risk, higher reward, perhaps.
And penalties? What happens if a robot, takes a tumble? That must happen.
Oh, big time. Falling costs you 5 points. Instantly.
5 points. Wow.
And if your robot stayed down for more than 8 seconds, that was a massive penalty. 10 points off.
Okay, so stability and getting back up quickly were absolutely critical.
Hugely important. Which makes sense, right? Balancing a 2-legged robot doing dynamic kicks and punches is not easy.
Not easy at all. So stability points almost as valuable as landing hits. Now, the source gave us a bit of a play-by-play of one fight. Pink versus black headgear.
It did, yeah. It gives a nice concrete feel for how it all worked.
Yeah.
The article describes like an initial flurry of moves.
Okay.
And interestingly, the black bot actually fell first. Not from a hit, but after it tried a kick and just, lost its balance.
Kicking itself over. That's kind of funny.
Almost took itself out. But the black-clad robot managed to get back up.
Okay, recovery matters.
Definitely. The fight went on, and then in the third and final round, the black bot landed a front kick, put the pink bot down.
Knockdown.
Yeah. And then in a move the article specifically points out, after the knockdown, the black bot actually jumped on the pink one, held it down to make sure it won.
Whoa, like a ground and pound or a pin in wrestling.
Kind of.
Yeah.
A tactical move programmed in, presumably, to secure the win after the knockdown.
That's more complex than just trading blows.
Oh.
So the black bot recovered from falling early and used tactics to win. What happened overall in the tournament?
Well, the pink and red bots got eliminated earlier. The final match was the black bot against a green headgeared robot.
Black versus green for the title.
And the black bot took the championship. Won on points against the green one in the final.
The comeback kid. Black bot takes the crown. Okay, stepping back a bit. The source mentioned this event was live-streamed globally, presented as a big deal.
Yeah, the world's first humanoid AI robot fighting competition of its kind, they claimed.
So what is this competition, with all these details, the size, the hybrid control, the AI training method, using athletes, what does it really signal about the bigger picture for robotics and AI right now?
Well, it clearly shows that fully autonomous, dynamically fighting humanoids, that's still some way off. That's a future goal.
Right.
But what we did see is achievable today. And that's robots executing complex, physically demanding moves that they learned from humans via AI, but directed by human intelligence in real time during the task. It's a very specific but still powerful demonstration of human-machine collaboration.
So it's less about the AI replacing the human fighter.
Yeah.
And more about AI enabling the robot to be a better physical tool, or maybe a vessel, for the human's expertise and strategy.
Precisely put, yeah. And it seems this isn't just a one-off gimmick either.
Right.
The source reports another event is already planned for December, down in South China's Guangdong province.
Okay, more robot fights.
Yes, but here's the kicker. They're planning to feature full-size robots this time.
Full size, wow. Going from, 4-foot, 77-pound bots to full-size ones in just a few months?
Yeah.
That suggests they're moving pretty fast on this, scaling it up quietly.
It definitely indicates this is seen as a serious area for R&D, for pushing the limits of what these humanoid platforms can actually do.
Okay, so we've really dug into this World Robot Competition mecha fighting series. We've looked at the pint-sized fighters, understood the hybrid tech, that mix of human control and AI-trained moves learned from athletes, seen the rules, the scoring, even relived a bit of a match.
And we've seen it's a fascinating, very visible example of both the current capabilities and the current limitations in robotics and AI, especially that power of using human motion data to train robots for complex physical skills.
Right, so connecting this back to you, our listener, why should you care about, 4-foot robots controlled by humans duking it out in China?
That's a fair question.
Well, I think this competition, with its specific blend AI learning physical skills from human experts, combined with real-time human control, it might signal a really powerful model for how humans and advanced machines could work together in the future.
Yeah, maybe in tasks way beyond fighting rings.
Exactly. Which leads to a final thought for you to chew on. Given these robots learned complex fighting moves by essentially watching and simulating professional athletes.
Using that mocap data.
Right. What other really intricate human skills could robots learn this way in the future? Think about skills that are hard to program directly but easy to demonstrate.
That's a great question. And following on from that, what unexpected applications might pop up when robots can fluidly replicate highly skilled human actions? Whether that's, I don't know, in delicate surgery, complex manufacturing, maybe even exploration.
Or something totally different we haven't even considered yet. The lessons learned from these robot fights might just show up in some surprising places down the road.